The difference between public assembly and private assembly. So let us see the differences between the public assembly and private assembly. The very first one is, whereas public assembly, it is used by multiple applications. It is used by multiple applications. Whereas private assembly, it is used by only single application. It is used by single application. And coming to the public assembly, these should be shared in GAC. Public assembly should be shared in GAC. That is, GAC stands for Global Assembly Cache. Global Assembly Cache. This should be shared in GAC. Whereas coming to the private assembly, should not be shared in GAC. And here public assembly, we can term this public assembly as shared assembly. We can be called as shared assembly. Public assembly, we can call it as shared assembly. Whereas private assembly, there is no term. We'll be calling it as only private assembly. And next one is, strong name should be created for the public assembly. Strong name has to be created. And coming to the private assembly, no strong name. Here no need of creating the strong name. No need of creating the strong name. And the other difference is, here the location of public assembly is root folder. That is, in the C drive assembly, in the C drive Windows folder, you will be having the assembly. That is the location of the public assembly. Whereas coming to the private assembly, the location of the private assembly is its own application folder or subfolder. You will be having the location of private assembly. By default, when you create the assembly, we are going to call it as a private assembly only. The default creation of assembly is nothing but private assembly. If you are going to place it in GAC, then only we call it as public assemblies. By default, all assemblies are private assembly. So these are the differences between public assembly and private assembly.